Southampton's under-21s were beaten 3-2 by Sunderland on Easter Monday. The hosts named experience in the shape of Adam Johnson, Will Buckley and goalkeeper Vito Mannone, who conceded 8 at St Mary's earlier in the campaign. Paulo Gazzaniga was the only player who featured in the first-team squad at Everton on Saturday. The first half was a largely disappointing one for Saints, although Sam McQueen's well-struck volley early on needed deflecting wide. Saints fell behind on 6 minutes as Sunderland forward Duncan Watmore got in behind and went to ground under the challenge of Paulo Gazzaniga. Penalty awarded to the hosts and converted by Sebastian Coates for 1-0, and it didn't take too long for Sunderland to double their advantage. This time Coates made the run, played the ball to Johnson, whose shot was cleared off the line by Jason McCarthy, but the rebound fell kindly to Duncan Watmore, who made it 2-0. Saints needed to steady the ship. Liam Agnew tried his luck from range, but this was well held by Gazzaniga. Whilst at the other end, Saints talisman Ryan Seager couldn't quite engineer enough direction on this header to trouble Mannone. Unfortunately for Saints, things were to get a little bit worse. Skipper Jason McCarthy won't want to see this one too many times, as his back pass was picked up by Will Buckley, who made it 3-0 with 31 minutes played. Tough words had at half-time, and thankfully things got better for Saints in the second period. Jake Hesketh just took a little too long in the penalty area, spurning this glorious opportunity to give Saints a lifeline. Duncan Watmore scored against Saints in the reverse fixture earlier this season, and he nearly put the game beyond all doubt with this mazy run, but the finish didn't match the build-up. Midfielder Dom Gape tried his luck from distance, but it was relatively comfortable for Vito Mannone. Jake Hesketh picked out Jake Sinclair next, but this time Mannone wasn't required as the shot flew high over the bar. Saints were granted a way back into the game midway through the second half. High pressing forced Sunderland into an error at the back, and Jake Hesketh found himself with a shooting opportunity, which he took just about, and brought the scores back to 3-1. Again, Sunderland was sloppy at the back. Saints sensed their uncertainty. Seager shot, Mannone saved, but this was better from the visitors. Paulo Gazzaniga was called upon again to keep out another effort from Duncan Watmore as the hosts went in search of a fourth. Instead, it was Saints who found the score sheet again. Intricate work on the edge of the box. Sinclair tumbled inside the penalty area and the referee awarded a spot kick. Ryan Seager took aim from 12 yards, found the net, but sadly this didn't inspire any more goals. 3-2 was how it finished. These were the thoughts of technical director Martin Hunter.
The first half was poor. Poorer than the Chelsea game, because we've gifted them 3 goals. We're at fault for all 3 goals, and then you've got a mountain to climb. So people look at it and say, oh, you know, you've done well in the second half. Well, you ain't going to win games like that, not at this level, and certainly not higher. So the first half made it extremely difficult, and there were some very harsh words passed on at half-time.
Why do you think it was such a slow start from Southampton?
I don't know. In terms of the distances that we allowed them, they've obviously got 2 first-team players playing wide. They cause us problems. But the basic structure of the team in terms of how we defend was not there. That's why they picked their way through us and they attacked us at will. So there was a fault. And the number of times we turned the ball over in the first half was too numerous to mention.
You came up against a Sunderland team with a lot of first-team experience, a lot of international experience in some respects. Is that a factor in the result today?
Not really. We've played Norwich, we've played some other teams with experienced players, and for our players, that's good to pit the wits against first-team players. They do it in training with our own first team, so that's not an excuse. But the individual performances today were poor. And at half-time, I don't think anybody could claim to have won his own battle against his opposite number.
After half-time, though, it was a bit of a different story. Obviously, you got the 2 goals, got back into it. Were you happy with the response from your players?
Yeah, second half, yeah, because they did exactly what they were asked to do. We've had some other chances as well, but the first half has killed us today.
It's been obviously an up and down sort of season at the top of the Premier League table. There's still a lot of teams up there. You had the chance to go top today, you haven't taken that, but you're still in the mix, and I suppose that's a positive, especially with the cup final coming up.
Well, it is. We've got to dust ourselves down and get back on the coach and get back down to Southampton, and the work starts tomorrow. We'll recover tomorrow, look at the game, see where we can improve, and then we'll go again. So that's what we'd always do. So there's a few home truths going to be spoken in the next couple of days.